back to the NDS. We are here at Talladega for race 1 of the season. There's the starting grid as determined by the duels. And back up we go. Here we go, the first and biggest race of the season. Ben McDonald on pole as everybody is ready to go. We got a marathon race today, so it's best to take your time and fight with the pack. Put yourself in the position to win at the end of the day, as we are all in for a new season of NDS. Green flag is out, and here we go. The Talladega 500 kicks off. Ben McDonald going to try and lead this line around. He's going to get to lead this lap here, as everybody's still in this pack. They're going to be fighting like hell. But you got to take it easy here, as just making it the distance is an accomplishment around this place. Because they are already pushing some of the drivers top of 3. Born Ready in the middle there. Just trying to take his line around with him, as look at what's going on up front. Lap led, Ben McDonald. Want to get that bonus point in, as you never know how bad of a day you're going to have, so just keep milking the bonuses. If you can lead a lap, or if you can get led the most laps, that's going to be difficult to do, but at the same time, they're going to be trying to stay up front. Hyperdrive 282 making his way up. Got some new contenders coming around. See Toad Warrior on that bottom. Everybody who wants to make that lane work. They're getting down there. Is you see how 2 wide it gets, and then suddenly 3 wide, as we see RS Fast and 11 still trapped up there. Sometimes they could have it more calmed down. Other times it'll be more crazy. Like right here, RS found the middle. I think the 47 of East Lamp not going as fast. There's a big hole for the 9 at Canadian Lux if he wants to get down. There you go. One of the Arby's cars up there moving up. That's probably BS Fast and 11. Oh, look at the 13 putting the puff top of 3. That's going to be a big move to make there. As we get closer to the front, it's fucking Ringo, dude. Getting pushed on out there. Yeah, 34 Toad Warrior has a huge run. He's going to take it. But 66 going to come down. As see more cars on that top of 3. Yeah, here you can see everybody is still within 2 seconds. That is very close quarters racing. New contenders potentially showing themselves. Team Duke in the 88 has had a pretty good career. Kind of tough to start after season 1, but he really took off after that. Meanwhile, we finally see some 4 wide. The 38 trying to get there, and it's going to be a wreck. It's going to be into the outside wall. There goes Seto. Kyle D's in it, and the Mizzou hits the rolling 24. Racing Fan kind of caught up there. The Puff, Caddy King, J Money. Ben McDonald got a piece of it. We're under caution. The 4 has got some damaged up. We all know where that started. I think Racing Fan was on the low lane. And there's Kyle D. I think Tank Gunner knows not to go with him, but the 8 just tried to sneak it and wasn't quite able to get there. Born Ready hard in the wall. E-Slimp's in it. The Puff comes down. There goes Kyle D and Ben. They get more of it up there. The 24 rolling hard. Yeah, here's what happened with the Puff. That the 50 just tries to correct himself on the wall and ends up dropping it into the 8 of Kyle D. Ben McDonald thought he had a lane just right there. There goes the 8, and he's in it as well. Oh, damn. That's a shot and a half right there. RS Fast and 11. You see, when you're in a wreck like this, the best thing you can try to do for yourself is have it be like a soft collection, because the 4 gets a little hit there. He kind of wants to minimize the contact and just slide down and correct right here. Born Ready's in that mess as well. Just you see the 14 of Caddy King getting more damage than he bargained for. But other than that, a relative soft collection here at Talladega. All right. Zent's first one off the pit stop here as drivers coming out the pits. Seto is absolutely destroyed. Some of the drivers in the back now coming out. Eddie's getting back out there. Both the Arby's cars where they are. Caddy King, Kyle D, RS, Mizzou, Seto. They're all out. J Money's getting back out there. The Puff is rolling again. So Ben McDonald, they're looking at those right sides, seeing what he's got. Racing Fan as well. They're getting Ben back out there. The 16 rolls off. Now, what about the 38? He will not be continuing in the race. All right. First caution on lap 6 already. All right. Here we go. 35 cars on track back to CS Fastlane 11. CS Fastlane 11 might have had a pit road incident there. Looking pretty rough. J Money as well. Other than that, drivers who are still in the race. So kind of a tough start for a second-year driver of a 38, but plenty of rookies still hanging around as we get to see the restart. Green flag back in the air. And wasting no time at all is that 41. He is going to take it. As these lead drafts get smaller and smaller, it's going to create tougher competition for the lead. Toad Warrior making a nice move here. KSS BSS in the top 10, a solid competitor. Today, Jerry moving on up. The 71 and his final race, final points race that the 71 team is going to do. Jerry is one of the more accomplished drivers. Glad to have him around, and we're going to miss him. His legacy of driving Michael McDowell cars to start his career, getting lost in the sauce, and now ending his car career with Michael McDowell. Salute to him. Austin Scott on the up and up. He's got help with the 33, and he's going to keep pushing to get in this lead draft. Then we have a second group here, all single file, being led by the train of Eric Monaco. But is Tank Gunner going to do anything? I don't think the 42 is going to pass him. They're going to work together, everybody here, to get to that lead group here. We'll see. They're right there. As I'm thinking, it's everybody back to about Fred Jones can stick with the lead group. Ringo and Esri both on the way back. You see that 1 and 66 both dropping back, but they're fine. It's Eastlamp, Bunger, the Puff who I'm worried about. And then Ben McDonald, CS, Fast 11, and J Money, they're just clearly trying to survive. Oh, but 13 didn't quite get where he wanted to. And there might actually be multiple groups of like incrementally fast or slow cars. Maybe there's drivers that like aren't as fast, but they're kind of playing obstruction for faster cars. That could play into it. Like it's not cut and dry who's fast, who's not, for the most part. The 6 of Tiger Man. It took him a couple tries to actually make this race, but once he won the championship, he found it a lot easier to make the 500s for the 6 team. And they know how to get the best track position from their situation. They restarted in the back on a late race restart in Duel 2 and managed to work their way up to that top 15. That is smooth sailing from the 6th crew here. See a couple rookies here. John X, Sully, Eric, Monaco. I think Monaco having trouble keeping up with these leaders here. But if you're in a situation where you could potentially wreck in a pack, would it be better to not be in that pack? As it looks like 23 cars still inhabit the lead group with a tail kind of spanning outward. They're going to run into CS and J Money eventually, and it's going to be a bit ugly when they do. Oh, God, this pace car. Love it. Misty Viper leading them around in the 31. He has kind of found his home with this 31 team ever since the successful season 6 he had. He wants to run it back and hopefully do just as good, if not better, than a round of 8 appearance. Oh, we got a wreck. KSS BSS up in the air. Austin Scott's in it. Oh, Esri gets some damage. Logan spinning down. That's not good. The 1 clearly took a pretty big hit of that. And just like that, the trials and tribulations of certain rookies can change on a dime as Angel Matfield leads us back to the caution. Now, Austin Scott top of 3. I think Logan wanted to go top of 4. It just there's not enough room there. And as soon as you squeeze KSS, he gets up on his side. Oh, Monaco got a bit of it too. Oh, God. So 3 rookies involved in an accident. And I think Austin Scott maybe the best of the 3 so far. As you see both Frosty Wusky and Ringo trying to split Esri, the 1 car. Took a pretty significant hit there. I cannot tell if they're going to keep going. Logan looks like he had a pretty bad hit there. He was the one who got hit by the others flying by. Where's the 3 of Monaco? Monaco's coming down pit road. So is Esri. Both the rookies. With a bit of wishful thinking trying to get past the crash, but guess not. As the 3 is out of the race. The 1, they're going to take a look at that car. They'll probably retire as well, as they are both down and out. All right. Pit road is a busy place. I mean, you want to top off as much as you can because it's going to be a long one. Get comfortable. Let's see. So that takes the 23, the 3, and the 1 all out in the beginning here. Oh, 22 of J Money, I think, just retired as well. Yeah, J Money's out now. 31 cars left on track. I don't think we lost anything of value by losing that 22, so not bad there. And this race has been picking up rookies and spitting them out. We still have Angel Madfia and John X Soli in the top 10. But with 3 DNFs and 1 DNQ, it has not, track record has been tough to say the least. And we're not even a quarter of the way done the race. The long haul will eventually set in for these guys as Misty Viper and Toad Warrior take us back to the green once again. If I'm that 31, I'm looking at actually putting my name out there as like it's going to be a long deal, but winning this 500, going the distance and putting your name with some of the best winners out there, it's incredible. As we begin to see some movement back there. Whoa, look at fucking Krugermeyer pushing Angel Madfia 3 wide. Good God. And they're going to make that work. What a great move by the 60 and 99. They're going to push all the way to the lead. And look at that, 43-99. They're going to be battling each other pretty much all the remainder of the race long, and it's going to be a great fight to see. 43 pushing in tow. He's got Tank Gunner behind him. As it looks like we got about 21 cars in the lead draft. I think the 88 of Team Duke is going to stay in with Landon back there as we see 3 wide going crazy. Like, this could change, just abruptly change at any moment. But I think these drivers, they need to settle in for the long haul. That's what's going to happen. They can't keep wrecking. If you're constantly wrecking cars, you're going to run out of cars to wreck, as we might actually see a 19 car lead pack here. So those two aren't going to keep in. Back up front, Tank Gunner of all drivers. And yes, that's how it's pronounced and spelled with one N. That's not a typo. I know I've made typos in the past. Don't bring them up to me. But leading Tank Gunner Hyperdrive on the top side, but now we begin to see a lot of like really heavy firepower cars come to the front. It's Jake. It's Canadian Lux. It's that one racer. Even the 60 Krugemeyers found it in her to go back to the bottom. As we see a bit of weird drafting moves here. I think Sneet Snart, Dr. Jr., they're in the tail of this draft. They're going to try and get back up there. If Team Duke's got a clean car, he could take the 99 back as well, as Landon's lost the draft, so a 20 may not have been that fast. Or who knows? Maybe they'll wreck again. Maybe this is some big brain play by the 88 and 99 to just not wreck. As there's still some slower traffic around. And I want to correct something about 3 rookies DNFing. Austin Scott, he's still out there. He just has no drafting partners, no real speed. As the only car slower than him on track is CS Fastlane 11. And another Fastlane 11, BS Fastlane 11, is actually the one to bring the fight with the family name. As that 15 car is pretty good. Pretty good, I'd say. And there's that 71. Jerry's in his final stand. We see a couple stragglers there that are losing this draft. It happens. There's so many different moving parts to a race like this. It's hard to keep track of all of them. Tank Gunner in that 42. He has been here for a while. He is looking this season. He could be looking to get a career win for himself. And how cool would it be if it was the biggest race? But Nine Canadian Lux also is. He's won races before, but man, we want to win. You want to break a winless streak. You want to think big. As the 13's keeping up, but the 99, not so much. That's 20th place, but not with the draft there. So you see the ticker, 2 seconds is now 4 seconds. And yeah, really breaking up. I think, you know who's got himself a rocket ship today? That's Toad Warriors number 34. One rivalry that really is highlighted by the series is the Toad Warrior RS Fast and 11 rivalry. When that now number 4 team punched in that championship, I think the 34 wants to answer back with a 500 win. Try to go toe for toe with accomplishments here. And that will be something. Team Duke, he's kind of like, I wouldn't say the closer, but he's just there when it matters. That is an invaluable skill to have here. As that 13 actually maybe losing the draft. So without Dr. Jr., that's 18 in the lead pack. And I think those guys like Ringo, Frosty Wusky, Bunger, Ben, the Puff, they could actually catch that 99. I mean, having company makes you faster, but you also want to beat your competition. Like, this is a race, not a charity. Tiger Man and Tank Gunner, they're the ones out front now, as they're coming up on CS Fest in 11, and good God, he's got nothing in the tank. Let's see how they do it. The 42s, he's going to be first to punch. And whoa, he made a bad mistake. Jake is the one who gets away good. A small breakaway is now the 43 of John dealing with the 11 here. Let's take a look at some of these leaders here. And you got to think, maybe Hyperdrive's in that good position. If he's behind Tank, never mind. I guess saving fuel is overrated. Yeah, it's like, it's go time. Unga bunga, that unga bunga part of your brain activates. It's go time. Is good God. They single-handedly brought Dr. Jr. back into the lead draft, and I think Canadian Lux is going to pay the biggest price. Oh, maybe the 13. He's going to get through there. He's going to be fine. And meanwhile, the second group, look, they've caught up. They're going to kind of, the 6 cars here, they brought Angel as part of their family now. Landon's found Billy Mays to draft with, 36 not having the best of days. KSS is still there. Eddie's still there. Austin Scott still going into turn 1. They're going to lap Austin Scott pretty soon, so that's another one they're going to have to look out for. As now, it is very strung out. It is. We have reached the late game Talladega moments. As your ability to size up a lap car can make or break a performance this day. And Jake, he's leading it. He's won this race before. He wants to do it again, goddammit. And to think, last season was Ben McDonald was leading last lap. Someone tried to make a pass on him, but he intentionally used a lap car to impede the pass so he could win the 500. Could we see something like that again? Toad Warrior, that one racer. If you got a clean car, you got a good car. And that is like what everybody wants here. 32 cars still on track as the leaders are running down the 7. As we see the 71 of Jerry. I mean, he wants to be a part of this lead group, and he might get it here, as Team Duke, Canadian Lux, Sneetsnart did not have the best time there, and Dr. Jr. lost the draft there, so here they come on some lap traffic. So the 7, not as slow, but still, who's going to get by him first? That one racer takes the low side. He's going to move on. He's got Zentz as a partner. This is what it does to you. It breaks up. And I think Toad Warrior, top of 3, he's going to be worst for wear here. And just how quickly the fortunes turned for both Tank Gun or Hyperdrive. You think you're big hot on the bottom lane trying to take the lead. Next thing you know, it does not happen at all. We see Canadian Lux, Sneetsnart, Team Duke. They want to get back with these leaders, but not sure if that's gonna happen. See that one racer game planted up top of 3. John X Sully running the line he is. They're coming up on another one. That's Eastlamp in the 47. A veteran of the trade. And that's very unfortunate. See him go one down. I mean, being lapped, it does not matter if you are new here or if you are experienced. You will all be lapped the same. As Toad Warrior trying to stay with this lead group, but Eastlamp might give him a lifeline here. As nobody besides Zentz has gotten around the 47. You see they're splitting them top and bottom. I think Toad Warrior may not be able to go the lane he wants. As this is the lifeline that Canadian Lux and Team Duke, they wanted to see this. We'll check back in on that later. For now, it's just Zent. He's going much slower now because he's alone. See, this is what we talk about when we say it's always good to have company, because without it, you are just a sitting duck for a pass. Jake, he looked high there. As, yeah, now the 9 and 88, they're going to be stuck trying to get by Eastlamp. Right there, that's when they clear. So now it's all about picking up the pieces, trying to get gathered back up. The 35 has pushed himself to the lead. But boys, here comes KSS. BSS, another one. And I think Jake is going to be able to run this one pretty well. But he had to sacrifice a lot of speed there. Hyperdrive trying to jump up. But that was a big mistake. Opens the door. Maybe? Not sure. And next up is Landon and Billy Mays. Hyperdrive's gotten around. Yeah, it's just kind of irritating when you have a guy like that and you just don't make the move and everyone else around you is just preventing you from getting in the lane you want to be in. I feel like Tank Gunner being with Jake at least makes him slightly faster to protect from counterattacks that Hyperdrive will launch. Jonic Sully, that 43, he's doing good. He's keeping with it, so not a bad trade-off if I say so myself. They throw that 44 up on the high side to get him lapped. Throw him back. Canadian Lux, Team Duke, they're the ones having a tough time here. Oh, CS Fast and 11 happened again, and Tank Gunner just took off with the lead. God damn. Then you got 2 cars being lapped down up there. Look at Toad Warrior. He went from being constantly being held up to the beneficiary to get up back up and close to the top 5. There goes the 11. Dr. Jr., he fell back. That's why now Ringo running away with this group here. It really sucks if you're like Angel or Bunger. You can't keep getting dumped out like this. That's losing your friends and eventually going a lap down. That's really the biggest pain that you could think of for this track. And now the lead draft is just a mere 8 cars. They're going long, and I do think that maybe enough racing happened at the beginning that they might try and one-stop it from where they pitted on the most recent caution. That, not sure if fuel mileage is something that you wanted to see here, but it might be something that these drivers are taking into account. I don't think, like, sure, you can two-stop the race, but the time it takes to complete 2 pit stops is absolutely not worth it if you think you can one-stop the race. All right, coming to the halfway point, and it's Toad Warrior coming up on a blockade of lap traffic. He's trying to push the lane he thinks he can get going the hardest, but it's going to be tough sailing right here. The 34 trying to go top of 3. I think everybody here is just trying to get past these guys in any way they can. It is. And look, the lead pack has grown. It's a delight to see, but at the same time, they got to find a way around. Toad Warrior is trying the top side, and it's kind of working. And now they've given Jake followed him through, and now Jeff is going to run the low line through here. They're going to ram it through as we see a little bit of action. Drivers trying to make it 3 wide back there. Whoa, look at Jake. Next lappers are the Puff and Ben, but I think we might be seeing more CS Fast and 11 before we get a chance to run into those guys. Yeah, John and Hyperdrive, they're the 2 that went the furthest back. God, the laps led metric is going to be a bit messy. And if there's a tie for most laps led, then you all get the bonus point. Because I'm just such a nice guy. A new breakaway here back to Toad Warrior. That's about 11 cars. Hyperdrive not among them. He is. I think Landon was slower than Billy Mays as we see the 20 there, but they need to dump both the 20 and 36. Not worth it. KSSBSS and Ringo, they're about to meet each other. I mean, the 66 ain't having the best day, but he's salvaging something. That's commendable. I think once these jokers get to around lap 47, 48, that's when we'll begin to see pit stops. If I'm mathing correctly. If they can't make it that far, then it might be a 2-stopper, and if a caution happens, then we just throw the math completely out the window. But still though, 24 cars in the lead lap. If you're a Ben McDonald or Puff type, you eventually got to be worried, like, when is it going to be me? Like, looking at the times they come across the line, you can see when the leaders are there versus when the lappers are getting lapped. Especially with the even slower cars than the other slow cars. Like, there are levels to this shit, player. And you gotta be the best game player there ever was if you want to get one of these. Especially with the patented Talladega start-finish line, which is not centered in the tri-oval, but is placed beyond the exit of pit road, just in case of any final moments that want to be made. Speaking of moments here, these drivers not really. I mean, they shed the 36, but they're still not like up to snuff. I mean, they'll be there in case any other slow car hits the lead pack. I mean, look, the objective, stay on the lead lap, is something that pretty much everyone here is adhering to. That, I mean, if they can. I mean, you can still try to stay on the lead lap and fail. But if you want a chance of winning the race, stay on the lead lap is basically the objective here. As we see Austin Scott and CS Fast and 11, both, they'll be the next lappers, especially CS. Oh, God. Scott will go 2 down, and CS will go 3 down. That the 29th place car has an entire lap on the guy behind him. And Sneet Snart broke a camshaft. Yeah, that's what this race will do to you. You don't just have to go the distance by making the good fucking decisions on track. You have to survive. And normally, like, a Talladega race here would be about, like, if this race were a standard distance race, like, we would be ending the race either within this realm of laps. So either the 35 would have already won or this would be the final lap. But there's a motherfucking marathon here. So we see drivers making their pit stops. Tank Gunner and Zentz, the first two to come in. Did they do the math correctly? Because remember, maybe they just pitted because they didn't want to have to deal with the 11 again. Speaking of the 11, hi CS, how's it going? And Jake just completely rushes down for the lead. And maybe if you're Jake, you don't like this. Austin Scott's found a home with Ben McDonald in the puff. And there's Eastlamp as I think that 47 actually pitted. Speaking of pitting, I think Ben McDonald coming in. He's coming in alone this time, but I think Jake might join him. No? Anyone at all? Nobody is nobody in the lead group pitting? I think it's because if you have more drafting partners, you can go longer. So the running order might be a little bit fucked up from time to time, but they're at least trying to make it work. Ben McDonald, he's in. Eastlaps, he's been in pit road. Jake gonna have to not pass him. Look at this. Austin Scott and the Puff have found each other on track. I think they both might be pitting. We'll see. We'll see it. No, they've found Zentz and Tank Gunner on pit exit. As we got a few more pitters. Misty Viper, Krugemeyer, Tiger Man. That's that one racer. Hyperdrive is in. So this puts 22 cars on the lead lap. Honestly, this is when the race really sets in, that it's going to be a long hauler right now. Toad might be trying the high side on Eastlamp, but I'm not sure if that's the right move to make, especially if this is your pitting lap. You see several drivers kind of arcing it up in the corner. That's kind of the indicator for pitting. Toad with a risky move. Kind of threaded the eye of the needle to make pit road, buddy. The Puff is in. KSS is in. See drivers coming in and out. Austin Scott, he's still on track. There's only really about 6 or so leaders that haven't come in yet. Remember, the 47, he's been in. As CS has been in. Like, the drivers who are multiple laps down, maybe it's because leaders haven't come in yet. So Like when we see Jake stay out, Jerry's in, John's in, Fred Jones is in. There's Darkest Presence and Queso. With Jake staying out, that's a bit weird to me. Krugemeyer, Hyperdrive, drivers who barely on the lead lap. As Jake stays out, Austin Scott there, BS Fast and 11 in second position. The 35 is playing the long game here. I think he wants to be able to really secure the fuel load here, which I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a very good tactical decision that the 35 team is making. Blake comes in. Austin Scott is in. And right now, third place is Jerry at the line. Not sure if he's third place anymore, but they're trying to get off pit road as Jake is not pitting. Jake is like the only notable car to still have yet to make a pit stop. I think he wants to lead the most laps. As you see, drivers like Darkest Presence, Queso, they're getting snaked around. Fred Jones right there. And at 35, a little hesitation is going to let Racer kind of go on his own. But Jake, I think this is finally his in lap. And what a crazy performance by the 35 on that run right there. He is in all the way. Lap 53. Now we see all the lappers here. So that means that second place is officially BS Fast Lane 11. Toad Warrior is running him down and is going to pass him. That's going to put Toad Warrior in second. Oh, Tiger Man on the low side. The 15 really strung that one out. But 35 exiting pit road. He's going to lead the lap, but I don't think he's going to lead the race. As the 6 of Tiger Man is now bearing down on the lead. This really has put a divide here. As you see Toad up top, running that higher line. As here comes Jake, he is not going to be with these guys. .35. Oh, contact. A little bit of contact with Zentz there, kind of trading paint. I don't know what that's all about, but I'm sure if a 35 won't appreciate that. I don't think he's going to be in the lead draft either. He's got a lot of speed to make up, and I don't think it's going to work for him. All right. Well, looking at about how many cars in the lead lap now? 22 cars in the lead lap. I think they're going to take up Angel next. They're going to lap him. It's a learning experience for a lot of these guys, so I wouldn't take it too hard. But the 99, if he could just keep their head in the game, get a top 20 finish somehow. Not sure how they would do that, but I consider that a good day. Toad Warrior making the pass. He is leaving no trace of who the best car is. Maybe Jake may have tried to lead more laps, but this 34, they're absolutely putting themselves on a mission right now. The 45, next up, well, put 20 cars in the lead lap back to the 21. There's only 30 cars on track, so if any driver were to have a mechanical failure, that would be a pretty disappointing end to their day. The 45 kind of playing this one a little stupid, if you ask me. Just blocking the lanes. Just if you're a car that is one lap down and you do have like the car to hold with the leaders, like maybe this 99 can actually draft with the leaders. That would be a great start because any other car the leaders can lap, you can just get that position. So it's a solid strategy as they're coming up to lap Landon again. God fucking damn it. That'll put the 22 laps down. And oh, look, it's CS Fast and 11. Again. He'll go 4 laps down. Toad Warrior looking like he's got an Adrian Newey rocket ship out there, but Tank Gunner was able to go tit for tat with the 34 team. There's Landon and Billy Mays. Those two drivers, they're actually fighting for position. And same with the 99 and 45. They just got to get by them. Let's take a look. Eastlamp crossing the line to start lap 56. Austin Scott's about half a lap ahead of him, so that battle for position isn't really going to be happening. So far, Tank and Toad. Currently going to be dancing the night away, trying to determine who wins this race. I'm not sure if they can't get by those two 36 and 20, but if they're both a lap down, that's going to be crazy if they could keep up, but they might not be able to. But look at this group here, a hyperdrive-led pack that's absolutely powering around the track. They just got to get past the 11. I think John's going to get kind of fucked over the hardest. Oh, it may not be as easy. They're going to try and dump Racer off. Or just all pass bottom. Ben McDonald and a little bit of cars there. Ringo and Frosty Lusky running where they are. There's Eddie. Here are the leaders. Yep. Honestly, though, can these guys bring in the speed to get back up there? Like, it is not over until it is over. So we will see what happens. Nothing serious. They're 187 miles an hour coming to 188. Like, if the guys in the front four kind of organize, they could pull away from the other group. Like, it's not impossible to teamwork here. But the guys don't want to teamwork. They simply freeload off each other's draft and then try to attack at a moment's notice. Which, aggression, good for on-screen action. But strategically thinking, it's not the best move to be made. Make of that what you will. Tank Gunner, not giving that one up. Eastlamp, he's rolling to maybe the next lapper. Misty Viper hanging in with this group. He's low-key been having it pretty good right about now. Do not underestimate this guy when it comes down to it. Jeff still powering along. In the 6, he's got it. A powerful job to be made here. And let's see, they come close, draw closer and closer. That 47, he's been a pretty solid veteran of a trade here. He wants to get back in full time, road courses and all, but not a great start to that season, though. But I'm sure they'll work at it. They'll get that thing pretty consistent there. As the leaders are not making up any ground. Thankfully, Misty Viper also didn't really do anything, so Toad gets the free lane there, but I think he's more worried about those guys in that second group running them down, and that's exactly what's happening. Run, little man. Run. One driver I want to touch back up on is Jerry. He's trying to stay with this lead group, get where he needs to be, and see if he could, at the very least, get a top 10 on his final career run. He wants to be there when it matters most. And John X. Sully, seemingly the only rookie to be in good fortunes right now. This 43 team could do something big here. You see the stream of cars careening down. It goes into an interesting place. They're kind of breaking up back there a little bit. Like, it may not be everybody getting in the lead draft, but it'll be more. As that one racer is there, he is cooking up a storm. Still 30 cars on track, 20 on the lead lap. Toad Warrior now has to defend against some pretty big time pushes here with the more cars and all. That one racer wants to try and take it 3 wide. Jeff kind of getting out of the way there. That's Austin Scott. Remember, they just lapped Eastlamp a while ago. Now at 7. They're coming up on pretty hard. And look at this. They're breaking away with the leaders here. Tank Gunner is just pushing away from the lead group. So they've kind of brought in some reinforcements, but not everybody got to be a part of this. They just saddled on up and just said, screw you, we're leaving. Here's for 7. That one racer, Team Duke, they're going to be side by side for this encounter. Coming right up against him. And it's going to be Duke who gets the advantage off that rip. The 88 now running alone. Still haven't seen the last of CS Fast and 11 this race. Drivers all shifting their lanes, moving around. I think if you're Tank Gunner and these guys, you want to push away from these leaders here. Look at this, Fred Jones. Look at Jerry. How quickly fortunes can change at a place like this. Is Team Duke now the sole man to defend a massive storm from behind. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still watching the same race that you tuned into. This is all one race. I'd like to thank you for making it to the 1 hour mark because it's what we do here. Love you all. KSS, BSS, and then I'm not sure if they'll hit Ben McDonald. KSS, he's already 2 down, about to go a third. Ben's already a lap down. He probably won't go 2. But here we go. Everybody here has a shot as the laps wind down. Look at it go. The 43 is now leading at Talladega. And he's going to go all the way to the top. Jones to the bottom. And that's going to split the leaders again. Toad Warrior still keeping with it. The 34 has got himself in every decent position. Whenever there's heartbreak, he runs it back. And I think that one racer's going to get the worst of it. Zentz and Angel Madfia. I mean, I'm not sure. A 21st place might be the upside for the 99 team. I'm not sure. As Canadian Lux and Toad Warrior have to mount an attack right now. Oh, Toad goes high. I think he's trying to preserve his time here. He doesn't think it's time to go yet. KSS BSS might change your mind. Maybe Toad wants to get behind and let the leaders find the lane so he can freeload off the progress. It's a solid plan. We'll see if it works. The 44 blocks low. And then he slips up, goes up. I think the 34 made that one work. Not bad, not bad. 10 to go. Looking at KSS back there, you can just see how much slower it is. I think especially when these other guys run up. Look at Duke. He threw it in there, and it's 3 wide KSS. Look at how important that is. That 88 made a great move. Not want that to be understated there. As I think Toad Warrior might actually be jealous of somebody trying to lead the most laps. Another big shot contender we thought was in this race was Jake, but he's all alone. He's been alone for a while, so the 35 team not getting the results they want. As it is still 30 on the track. And just as quickly as we thought Team Duke was out of it, he's back in it. Oh, what this race can take you places. Now, it's been a while on this green flag run, even after the pit stop. I do think they've got it made. They shouldn't have to pit. I think Jake especially went extra long to the detriment of his own race. I would say the driver who pitted first was Zentz and Tank Gunner. So if any driver is worrying about fuel, it might be the 42 team. But, I mean, with the group he's got going on with himself right now, I don't see that as an issue for him at all. Speaking of drivers who, this is Talladega is a roller coaster of it's so over and we are so back. Ben McDonald lost his help. He's going to go 2 laps down. Not the best look for the 16 team. I mean, they'll still be fast, but it's not what they want it to be. As the 43 is cutting through. Toad Warrior trying to get Jerry to clear top of 3 on Ben. I think he's got him. I think they'll push past. It'll be something. They'll have enough. Toad's just got to get himself clear, and he does. Misty Viper trying to put him top of 3. Tank Gunner's not going to like that. Team Duke, not in the worst position right now. And I know it runs green that with everyone spread out like this, a caution probably won't happen. But if the possibility of next caution ending the race will be something to look out for, as the Puff now goes a second lap down. This is the cycle. Toad Warrior thought it was so over behind Ben. The Puff is going to bring him right back. Somebody who did not want to see this is Jerry in that 71. The storylines. Oh, there's plenty of pages in these stories. That one racer now bringing it to the lead. Honestly, some drivers I got to commend are guys like Ringo and Frosty Wusky for staying on the lead lap this long, even if they might get lapped. It is commendable what they've been able to do with it in this race in general. 5 laps to go. Look who's a-coming. The list of accomplishments that you can do in this league. Win a race, get a pole. Like, there's plenty of things you can do. I'd say this 500 is the second most prestigious thing behind a championship. It might be better. This Toad Warrior now hesitating behind the 20. But I think Hyper just did the same thing. I think they both got cold feet seeing where that 20 will go, and that's going to give a 34 his lane. They're 3 wide way back here trying to just get to the lane where the 20 isn't. 4 more rotations. Hyper really wanted to put Landon 3 wide top, and that is what is going to happen. Just got to reload here. Look at what is all happening. Ben McDonald and the Puff, that's for position back there, but look, we're coming down to it. This is the race. Toad still here. Let's see what it's got. Next lapper is those 3 that honestly aren't that slow. So I think this might be the battle for the win right here, this pack. Tank Gunner putting the pedal to the metal. You got to take it now. As the 42 jumps up the bit. I think, look at Krugemeyer. Open lane for the 60. Toad closes the door. .34. I mean, playing defense at a plate track might be a little bit too much. The lights might be too bright. Krugemeyer peaking, not getting there. Fred Jones, that 86. If there's a fantasy driver track combo that wants to win, it's this. Here and now. Tiger Man in the 6. He's got a good run here. As drivers on the low side, they're going to try and pick their way through this field one by one. Look at CS Fast in 11. Toad Warrior is going to go high. And I think Toad's going to try and break away as much as he can. Here comes the 71. It's Toad, Jerry, Krugemeyer, Hyper. 1, 2, 3, 4. Coming to the white flag. They're going to dump the 71 up high. Here comes Krugemeyer. Oh, Hyper goes with the 71. Oh, they're going to dump him up. Dump him up high. All right. Hyper making some sort of move. Hyperdrive with a huge push from Tank Gunner. Toad Warriors, gotta defend. Which way is he gonna go? Tank pushes it 3. All 3 lanes are working at full force. Tank Gunner, Toad Warrior. Oh, Tank, he's got the push. I can't believe it. He's gonna get the momentum from the 9. Who's it gonna be? It's down to the line. Toad Warrior. Dead even. What? No way. We're going to have to take a look at that one again. Oh, you cannot script a better finish for this race. And Jake losing a couple positions to fantasy drivers in the final hour. There's Ringo, Dr. Jr., Frosty Wusky. They're going to finish on the lead lap. What is this? This is racing. The closest finish in NDS history on a final lap moment. They're dead even. What? I don't know how to score this. Okay. Like, I need a minute. Okay. 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 This is as slow as we can go. I don't think Tank. Was it Tank though? Oh my god. Okay, his wheel showing it. I can't tell. I honestly, timing and scoring has failed us here. Here's the results. All things being equal, I would have to say I'm at a loss for words. There's the final results. We'll get this sorted out, and we'll see you next time. Take care.